The following video is brought to you by the guys at the Wrecking and Racing Podcast, a NASCAR podcast made by the fans for the fans. Check them out at www.wreckingandracing.com, facebook.com/wreckingandracing, and Twitter at Wrecking and Racing. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the 2019 mod, and we are here at Chicagoland. We're starting on the outside behind Brad Keselowski. We have Paul Menard to our inside. Looking up there, looks like old Brandon is on the pole in that wreckingandracing.com Toyota. So we'll see if we can catch up to him here. It's a 40-mile race. Lots of passing opportunities here, nice and wide. We will have to make a pit stop. Looks to be about halfway will be the proper time to do it, but depending on cautions and all that good stuff. Green flag is in the air. Didn't get a real good start here. Already wrecking Chase Elliott in the wall. We got shoved down to the inside. Not a way to start the race. So I don't know what happened to those guys up there, but Chase Elliott was definitely involved. So it may be too early to pit, but I'll take a look at things and see. And William Byron with a lot of damage up there, and we are just spinning out on hot tires. But we'll get back to the pack, and if we have to pit, we'll be right back with you. Coming to pit road now, we are within our window. Well, I say that, but we are just barely out of the window by a lap. So if we drive conservatively here on the exit and over the next couple laps, we may be able to pass all of these guys here. So we'll get 4 tires and fuel. Right sides are now on. Come on, boys, get the left sides on and pound out any damage. So it does look like we've got some damage from that hit from Chase Elliott. Hopefully not too awful much. No, just maybe pick a little maintenance, but okay. So we will be very conservative here on the start and wait for them to make a move, but we should be able to stay out the rest of the way, so I'll be right back with you for the green. Pace car off the track. Joey Logano leads us back to the green. Green flag is out, and like I said, we're going to be fairly conservative here. We're going to have to start rolling out of the gas earlier than they do. I'm not expecting a whole massive amount of passing here, but just sort of biding our time here, letting the car, settle. Not really forcing an issue on the tires much because we have to make these things last for the rest of the race, which could prove detrimental in the future. Nice and easy roll on the outside. The car is very unstable, as you can see, bouncing around like crazy, but we're not really losing the cars in front of us. The damaged Daniel Suarez to the inside here, and Ryan Blaney had his rear end completely and utterly ripped off. So we should make quick work of him if he is aerodynamically unstable, and we can just work on Ty Dillon next. Good run on the outside, so even conserving fuel, we're making some passes, which is a good sign. We're not going to get back to the throttle 100%. We're just going to roll the throttle back in until we're at 100% and jump out of the throttle as we can. But much faster than Ryan Blaney here, looking to his outside and letting the car roll and settle. I like to see that these guys are sort of spacing themselves out a little bit. That'll make passing them easier. one at a time than getting involved in a hornet's nest, which we certainly do not want to do. But we've got 2 cars in front of us here. We'll roll the outside. Not the best for fuel mileage, though. If you're running a fuel mileage race, you want to take the shortest way around the track, not use all that fuel running the outside, but I think it'll pay dividends if we can just run the second groove here. And everyone else is single file in front, so that will allow us to move up nice and gently. We wash up the track just a little bit, not getting back into the gas. Like I said, I'm not that worried about positions because we are not coming down to pit road anymore. So if we can at least see the leaders, we are in a good place. Trying to claw these laps back and stay out of trouble. We don't need to pass any of these guys on the racetrack, since it looked to be, to me, that we were the only ones to come down pit road. So, I mean, aside from the damaged cars. Ooh, split in the middle, right under the 34. That was dicey, but we got away with it. The leader's in the middle of 3 and 4 now, so we're maintaining a decent pace, as it is working on Ross Chastain here in the 15. Getting a good run here. We should be able to look to his outside or inside if he gives us the lane. All right, we'll take the inside. Roll out nice and early. And yeah, he just sort of concedes the spot to us. That's what we like to see. So ideally, we're keeping pace with the leader, I think. There's Joey going into turn 3 now, and in the middle of 3 and 4. That's about the distance we want to maintain. If we can pass these guys in front of us, all the better. But we also have to be mindful about the halfway point in this race. When they start coming down to pit road, we need to be in the higher lane so they don't just stop right in front of us and cause an incident. Yeah, we got some breathing room now. A lot of air on the car. We can maneuver as we see fit, and especially if these guys get racing in front of us, all the better. Yeah, we're sort of maintaining that gap on the leader while saving fuel, so that's a pretty good situation. We are on newer tires, and we need to take care of them as much as we can. Touch the white line just a little bit. Car washes out, but no worse for the wear. Laps clicking away here very quickly, as they tend to do at these 40-mile events. Unless you're at Kentucky or something like that, where the race never seems to end. But we're doing okay here. Feeling pretty good. We actually might be catching the leader just a little bit. I'm not sure if that was Brandon up there on the outside. I can't really see the outside of Joey Logano, but if the leaders are bogged down side by side, that'll bring everyone back to us, and indeed that looks to be the case. Catching the Richard Childress car here, whether it be Hemrick or Dillon, it's Hemrick. And he really starts slowing up here on the bottom. We'll roll the outside. He's got some nose damage. We can see his hood sort of crinkled and crumpled there. Make quick work of him. And look forward to Matt Tifft. Tifft goes to the bottom. They may be pitting. I'll give these guys a lot of room on the bottom. Now Tifft is just slow there on the bottom. Looks like Martin Truex Jr. is trying to figure his way through. Nice and slow. We'll take a look to the inside there. And there is David Reagan. Can we split the middle 3 wide? We'll push Truex up just a little bit. Oh, this is dicey. Really loose on corner exit. 3 wide in the middle is not what I want to see. But everyone has to check up on the bottom. We've got Bubba Wallace down there on the inside. Truex gave us the spot. And a very damaged Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in front of us here as well. I think we'll be able to roll the middle to high groove here around Ricky, although we've got Landon Castle in front of us now. As long as he can sort of choke up that line, that would be good. And Stenhouse is kind of quick there on the bottom. A lot of rear end damage for him. And we'll just keep giving the low line a look, because they should be to pit road soon. In quotation marks and hashtags. They're really bottlenecking now. Shoot through the middle. Don't let it kill our momentum in the inside of Boyer and Dillon. And they all roll out. We drove in a little bit hard just to make sure that we could clear those guys. We suffered on corner middle for sure, but if we can get that corner exit speed, Dillon right there back to our back bumper, he's going to take a look but roll out. So he may be looking to pit here, maybe. No, we all go around again, and there's Brandon with a sizable lead. about 3 to 4 seconds, but we're clawing back lap by lap. We're definitely catching Logano and Kyle Busch up there fighting side by side. There's last week's winner, Kurt Busch, up on the high lane. Yeah, and if the 95 is going to give us the spot, we'll take it. And I tell you, for driving nice and conservative and saving fuel, these guys are, I guess the tires are really starting to fall off. They can't go through the corner as fast as we can. And we've been taking care of our tires this whole run. So not only is, I'm not going faster, everyone else is going slower, to quote Cole Trickle. And we're really going to have to slow up here with Kurt Busch on the outside of Brad Keselowski. I think that high lane will have the run. I'm going to put some pressure on him here to try to clear the two. And indeed we do. And the guy's looking to the inside. Still not pitting. And we are a stone's throw away from the leader, who still has to pit, and we ourselves don't. So we may win this race by a lap at this pace. Everyone else is clawing out there hoping for a caution, I assume, but this has a look of a green race. Everyone is pretty much single file except for this lead group. Kyle Busch looking to the inside of Kyle Larson for second place. And these guys may be pitting. They're sort of forcing me up wide. Is Bowman pitting? No, he was just running the outside to be a D-bag. But to no avail for Alex Bowman. We passed those guys. We're sitting in the top 10, almost the top 5, and still not having to pit. Good stuff here. Let's look to the outside of Kyle Busch here. And everyone's checking up on the bottom. Larson goes to the outside. And are they coming to pit road? Yes, indeed. There goes the leaders down to pit road. Now, it's a question of, is Brandon going to pit? I don't know how much he's been saving or if he's been saving, but he might not have to pit. We'll just run our own race and see. But we'll start clawing some time back. We're running in second right now. And we'll see if Brandon is coming to pit road. I mean, it is close. We're like right on it. As far as fuel mileage goes, I don't know if Brandon is as well. I don't know what his fuel situation is, but laps are continuing to click down. We're putting all of those guys on pit road a lap down. Brandon brushes the wall just a little bit. I don't know if his eyes were in the mirror or if they were on a gauge, but very uncharacteristic as we claw a few more car links each and every corner. He's running that higher groove, which is not good for his fuel mileage, but that could be where he's faster. And it looks like his car is giving up. He bounced off the turn 4 wall again. Hunting him ever so carefully here. We don't want to really like go for broke because our fuel is just, right on that edge. I imagine, Brandon looking to the inside here. Okay, I don't know if he's going to give us the lane or if he is in extreme fuel conservation mode. And the wall, crap, get off the wall. We drove in a little bit too hard trying to give Harvick and Brandon some room, but once again, I'm not really stressing it. We should be able to reel Brandon back in within a lap or two. So we do have some time here. He's forced to fight on the outside of Harvick here. That's going to slow him up, and we should be able to start pulling him here on the straightaway. And I believe Harvick is a lap down. Maybe even 2. Not sure. Yeah, good run off of turn 4 here. And Brandon is in our sights. Within another lap or 2, we should be able to get him here. Looking at that fuel gauge, seeing when that pressure starts dropping. It may start really dropping on the last lap. Brandon really loose off of turn 2. We'll get him here on the back straight. So eyes out of the mirror. I don't think anyone else has anything for us here. Accelerating off. White flag is in the air. One more lap to go. And it looks like the fuel is just now starting to move. Yes, indeed, it's down to 6 pounds rather than 9. We're going to have to be really careful here coming around, but there's no one behind us to put up any sort of charge. I don't see Brandon. I think he is actually out of gas. So Brandon tried to stretch the entire race. A valiant effort. I think he did take the white flag though. So, yep, there's our fuel gauge. We are almost out of gas, but here is the checkered flag. We take the win at Chicago with some very cheeky fuel strategy. So there we are in first place. Let's take a look at the top 10 as they come around. So Ricky Stenhouse with a 31st. Oh, pace car decided to get involved with everybody here. And I don't see Brandon, but there's Joey Logano in 3rd, Kyle Larson in 4th, Ryan Newman in 5th, Denny Hamlin in 6th, Paul Menard in 7th, Brad Keselowski in 8th, Kyle Busch in 10th, and Eric Jones in 9th. That's interesting. Eric Jones in 9th, Kyle Busch in 10th, even though I'm not sure about all that. But where exactly is Brandon in the grand scheme of things? He has come to a coasting stop in between turns 3 and 4. He's not going to make it around, so we're just going to give him a shove to the finish line here. This wouldn't be entirely legal, but then again, Brandon did cross the white flag line, and then he was in front of everyone else. So as soon as everyone else crossed the line, their race was over, meaning that Brandon could not have lost second place, but we'll just go ahead and give him a push to the start-finish line and complete his race. But let's take a look at that first lap crash with Chase Elliott. Is he out of the race as of now? Yes, he is indeed. So lap 0, they were already crashing. And Daniel Suarez is offline. As soon as that pace car comes out, Daniel Suarez decides to go 3 wide. That's very interesting. He tries to peel down like he's got an issue to get out of the way. And when the green flag drops, he's already out of line. Everyone is passing him on the left and right. And there's Almirola, his teammate. And there's Chase Elliott. Oh, gets hit a ton. Closes up the racetrack. Hemrick involved. Ty Dillon involved. That was a mess of epic proportion here. Let's look at the spectator cam in order to really appreciate everything that's gone on. And even these guys in the back, like William Byron, gets hit a ton because the crash happens way in front of him. Boom. There we go. So all the cars are sliding to a stop. The track closes up, and there we are sliding down to the grass. So not much damage. Everyone else, got hit a whole lot worse than we did. So let's look at the standings. That will be our 6th win of the year. 1 win away from Brandon. 1 win for Almirola, Keselowski, Harvick, and Blaney. Still, Kyle Larson more than a race ahead of everybody. And look at that 16th. William Byron is your cutoff driver. Joey Logano is tied, and only 8 points separate 14th to 17th. But still, you look at Clint Boyer in 10th, all the way back down to Alex Bowman in 18th. Daytona could shake up these standings really well. One big crash could relegate one of these drivers out or vault an unexpected winner in. But that's going to do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week for the plate track at Daytona. Take care.